probably would have been offside there, but for the fact the ball was played to him by a racing defender. But look at that, one defender there and two players the wrong side of the defender. It could have been Gonzalez. In the end, it was Castro. And San Lorenzo are level. 1-1 with 40 minutes left. Another racing player goes down, clutching an ankle. This time, Sandona too strong. The player is in fact Marini, who's only just come back into the team as well. Claudio Marini often starts a match on the bench. Came on last week in place of Andrada, who is out of the side this week. It looks as though he might well be injured himself seriously enough to go off now. Don't worry too much about events on the field at times like this. When their side has just scored, the San Lorenzo fans are still in jubilation after that, but it could be the end of the game for Marini. Well, twisted a knee. No substitute on as yet. It's Racing's turn to attack once more with the twisting and turning Silenzo. About the game though. Lamadrid went in a bit double-footed, but the referee thought it was okay. So Sozani, now Fabri. Straight back upfield from Carizzo, and they are moving the ball around beautifully, San Lorenzo at times now. This is a side full of confidence. Having won last week, they'll imagine they can do so again. Especially bearing in mind Racing's appalling home record. Carizzo to Aguilar. Aguilar's good on the left foot. Oh, and he's managed to work it through. Goalkeeper was in a little bit of no man's land as the ball went through, but I imagine there was an offside whistle in any case against the goal scorer Castro. Castro, by the way, scoring there for the second successive week. Yes, he was well offside. They are finding some holes in the defence, and there again it was Ferreira causing a bit of consternation. The banners and the flags are still being waved as Nesta Fabri tries to organise things. They'll have to organise perhaps a wall here. San Lorenzo do have people who can whack the shots in. He'd have preferred the net, not the big one behind the goal. Not a very good effort at all from Flavio Zandona, whose only goal this season was in the 1-1 draw with Independiente. It was a better shot than that one. Good turn. They really do have so many options in here. Again, coming forward was Rinaldi. But Rinaldi, Monaris and Ferreira have been a real handful at times. And here's Rinaldi once more, swinging it over. Perhaps trying to catch Goalkeeper off his line. Rinaldi, a prolific marksman throughout his career. So now Ortega Sanchez. Back from Perez to Fabri. It's keep ball at the moment. Meza waiting for some support. Got it through to Ortega Sanchez. Did really well there. Ortega Sanchez waited as well. Now Perez. Here comes Jimenez. Jimenez trying to go on the outside and cracks it straight at Lamadrid. Jimenez has only scored in one game this season, but he got 2 against Lanús. got into a good position. The defender immediately in front of him, so he had to tease him, just created enough space to hammer in the shot straight at Lamadrid. To Marini, seems to have recovered from that injury he got. Remember, he was led off with a knee injury, but seems to have got over that. This will be a corner. Racing will leave to Meza. Well, they scored from his corner in the first half after only 13 minutes when Lamadrid planted that header right between Lamadrid's outstretched arms. Fabri's in there. And this time, it's a safe catch. Nice for the local man Lamadrid to be getting a run in the team. Good header on from Rinaldi, straight to Sozani. It's obvious what's going to happen there. Fiorotto is the substitute on the one side, and Tedini on the other. Might well come on, but for the moment, nothing much happening out there. That was a wayward ball played in. And Lorenzo will make their substitution first in taking off Monares, number 10, as you see. Goes away, and the former Tajeres player Oscar Roberto Tedini is on. But racing, he was rather too easily bundled off that ball. Might just have slowed Marini down a little bit, that injury, even though he's staying out there. Racing, of course, already had to bring Benitez, a defender, on. Because of the injury to Sergio Miguez. Here's Goalkeeper. And that looks like Monares might have got a touch of cramp or something. Nicely done. It's a good ball through. Now it's played wide by Gonzalez. Infield comes Montenegro. Oh, substitute almost got in his way, one felt there, Tedini. Now is the break on? No. Challenge straight away, although the ball now is absolutely belted up that left touchline, but goalkeeper Lamadrid seeing what was on and coming to collect. And then playing a very good pass. It was the bounce of the ball was a little bit cruel for Racing, but it was taken on by Castro. Back now picked up by Gonzalez. Gustavo Gonzalez there, who often begins matches on the bench. Now Fiorotto's turn. Will not be long delayed, one imagines. It's the referee who's giving a helping hand. Lamadrid, who went down, looks as though he's coming off, so the goal scorer in the opening quarter has seen enough of this game. Hugo Lamadrid, sock rolled down and has a bit of a problem, clearly. It's not been the happiest of seasons for him until today, when he scored a goal. He'd been sent off only a few weeks ago in the Super Cup against Cruzeiro of Brazil. Just seemed to get tangled up, really, with the full-back Aguilar. That's the end of Lamadrid's game, and Fiorotto is on. Not yet in the action. This is Lorenzo. Now he is. And Fiorotto showing a very good turn of pace to begin with, and is brought down for his troubles and his insolence, maybe in going past the defender. And that was a pretty awful tackle from behind, which the referee might decide to do something about. It would seem not. But there was no way he could have won the ball. Took the man. Well, he might say he was sliding for the ball, I suppose, but he certainly took the man out. The referee awards the free kick. It's Racing's, and the goalkeeper, oh, what a dreadful punch, and well, it wasn't a very good piece of goalkeeping again, not convincing from Lamadrid, and Sozzani really could have profited from that. If it'd been a striker, the ball might now have been in the net. Ortega Sanchez running over the ball, Perez playing it in, and he seemed to be caught. He flapped it a little, put it straight to Sozzani, but all credit to him, he then got in the way of the shot. So the cameraman might get in the way of the player taking the throw now. He's got a good close-up of it. Getting a little bit of the action himself. It's in fact a free kick. Out by Sozzani. Involved in action at both ends, but San Lorenzo come there by no means out of this one as far as winning is concerned. And well, it didn't go by much. Goalkeeper rather scrambling across his goal mouth. It took a touch from a defender as well. So San Lorenzo's corner, their first of this half. Tedini. Oh, and right across the face of goal, and Fabri having to put it behind, but again some indecisive defending by Racing. It really was poor defending. Everybody seemed to let it go. Fabri didn't. He could have put that one in his own net. That might have been a disaster for Fabri. And San Lorenzo have another corner. And Tedini comes over here to take this one too. Oh, good header. Goalkeeper in the way once more, as he's been with most things. Carizzo's header. Meza. Fabri, looks as though he didn't want that pass at all from Marini. But Ortega Sanchez plays it, and Perez puts it straight up in the air. Oh dear, it was Benitez who lost it. Wins it again and is then brought down by the look of it. The game has got just a little bit scrappy. Two defences not particularly well marshalled today. The nice little flick through is for Ortega Sanchez. There might be something on here. Oh, that's a disappointing finish from Ortega Sanchez. He's usually much more accurate than that. And the local fans will give him a bit of stick for that. He'd opened up the position. And they can see his effort on dishes around the world, although we perhaps wouldn't want them to. Again, some sloppiness. The ball played through over the top, and the goalkeeper way off his line, and it must be. It must be. Where on earth had the defence gone? Fiorotto, the substitute, with 4 minutes to go, could well be the hero for Racing Club. They certainly think he is, but time seemed to stand still then. There were two of them on the wrong side of the defence. Fiorotto was the one to take the glory. Well, I mean, from that angle, he looks about 20 yards offside. There was nothing Lamadrid could do about it. And once he'd got past the goalkeeper, only the side foot was needed. That was enough. Forlorn chase back for Lamadrid. And Fiorotto, the substitute, makes it 2-1 to Racing Club, and perhaps now, for the first time in 4 years, they're going to get the better of San Lorenzo. And as you can see, there has been a mass protest to the linesman. Not surprising. Television angles don't always show us the truth. They look yards and yards and yards offside from that. Once Fiorotto was on the wrong side of Lamadrid, there was only one net result, and that's the net. Well, the home fans are happy, the home coach is happy. I imagine that Ricardo Reza, the San Lorenzo coach, is absolutely fuming. He wouldn't believe that decision. Racing need the victory more than San Lorenzo, and really that is a decision that is going to be talked about for a long time in Argentina, because it looked as though not only Fiorotto but another player alongside him as well were both way offside from Ortega Sanchez's free kick. And I think that the protest has been continued by Fabri. Not the protest about the goal, mind you, the protest about something else. He was very happy with the goal. And it's beginning to look like a home win for Racing Club. Only so long to go is the message from the bench. And it could be a first win for Juan Carlos Oleniak. Eyes certainly on Jorge Oscar Vigliano. San Lorenzo now with their own opportunity to create something from a free kick. Ortega Sanchez no way is he 10 yards from the ball. As it's played in by Celis. Ronaldo got up and won it, but it'll be a San Lorenzo ball, so still some defending to be done by Racing. These closing moments of the game, the derby match in Buenos Aires. I remember coming up in a moment or two the goals from the game between Rosario Central and River Plate, both very concerned with the leadership. But here still, San Lorenzo, and he was cocking the old rifle there was Castro, and the ball never came to him. Out from Benitez. All sorts of appeals out there. The referee had to give something, and he chose a free kick to Racing. Well, they've not been singing the praises of the team very often this season. They've not been celebrating victories, but it's going to be one of those days when they can do, I imagine now. Racing Club 2, San Lorenzo 1. Seconds to go, and Racing still on the attack with Ortega Sanchez leaving it for Perez to take on, and he's a sprightly player, Perez. It's not the best cross in the world though, but it's wasting up a few more precious seconds. San Lorenzo have got none of those left, and it's victory for Racing Club, their first in 4 years over San Lorenzo.